and today I wanted to pop on and show you how to stencil. I've been teaching people for 3 years now in painting party mode in a business, how to stencil with stencils that are not sticky. There's no vinyl involved. I'm going to tell you a few myths about stencils, and then we're going to go ahead and show you how easy it's going to be for you. So the lesson's in here, okay? First myth, you need to sand it really, really, really smooth. Folks, you do not. I have not sanded that at all, and this is what we're stenciling on today, and I will not get any bleeding. I promise you. And you won't get any bleeding either if you follow our tips. This, yeah, I'm told all the time, you need to sand it like a baby's butt, and you know what? That's too much work for me. I'm just, I don't have that kind of time in my life to be sanding wood down to baby butt smooth. So I hope that you will, oh, and just in that time frame, so, you know, when you're on live, you can lose the words, like they just fly right out of your head. You know what you're thinking about, and you feel like you're 1,000,000 years old and you can't remember anything. But hey, it's live. Okay, so what I was going to say is I have had people stencil 100-year-old barn board with no prep, no sanding, and no painting on top of it, no base coat, no nothing, and it's turned out beautifully. So if you want me to, I'll post a picture of that later. She came to my house because she was scared, so I stepped her through it step by step. It's the same technique I teach everybody, and that's what I'm teaching you today. So you have probably gotten your stencils by now, and you're a little scared to use them. Don't be. I want to show you how simple and easy it is. Now, you do not need to prep the board. And give it a quick sand if you want to, but don't spend too much time on it. Give it a base coat. I like a base coat. And if you want me to, ask me later, and I will show you how I prep this board to make it look like farmhouse style with no sanding. Super simple, super easy. Okay? So if you want to be knocking out signs fast to sell them, this is one of your techniques. All right. The other thing that you will hear is that you need to use a brush. Not true. Okay? I never use brushes in my parties. I started out using brushes in my parties. There's a lot of brushes to clean. When every person you have to have a dry brush. Every person needed a different brush for a different color, and there was like 40 people at the party doing 3 different colors. That's a lot of brushes to clean at the end of the day. Again, not my deal, not my thing. I don't want to clean 120 brushes at the end of the night if I don't have to. So we quickly moved on to makeup sponges. And you can find these at your local dollar store, your Walmart. Get the densest ones you can. I like the ones from the Dollar Tree. Oh, I don't have the pack. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Do I have a pack? I do. Okay. Down here in my handy little bin. These are the ones I like the best, okay? They are the most dense. So if you can get these, great. If you can't, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. But you'll find these at the Dollar Tree. They're in Canada, they're $1.25. In the US, they're $1. You get 28 sponges for $1, and they're reusable, okay? So what I'm going to do is show you the deep, dark secrets of stenciling. First thing you need to know, you're not going to be able to do it in one coat, okay? So see this over here? That is what we call the ugly duckling coat. You can see the marks from the sponge in there. You can see it's faded through. That is coat number 1. Now, especially with light colors are harder to stencil than dark colors. Especially with light colors, you're going to need several coats. With dark colors, which I'll show you in a minute, you often only need 1 or 2 for a rustic vintage kind of look, okay? But this applies to all stenciling. There's your first coat, the ugly duckling coat. This is how I'm going to do it. Then there's your second coat. See how it starts to fill in? Let me put this up here. See how it starts to fill in? There's still some spots like on the edges that are not quite covered up. And then if you want to go really solid, you're going to need at least 3 coats of the light color, probably more like 5, just so you know, okay? Just to keep you honest. I can do it in 3 probably because I've been doing it for so long, but I'm going to say you probably want to start out with tempting 5. And here's what happens if you don't do that. 2 coats, too thick, and you can see the edges are not crisp. Sad little thing. The edges are not crisp, and you can see where it's bled, okay? That is too much paint and too much pressure. Those are the only 2 problems you can have. So I'm going to take a photo of this and I'll pop it into the group later, okay? So later on I'll do a photo of that. So we're going to take this stencil and we're going to just stencil on this sign that I just knocked out really fast. Oh, okay, so, sorry, one more tip. I know I'm all over the place here. So sponges are what we're going to use, but if you want to use a brush, I'll show you later, okay? I make my own brushes. out of kids' paintbrushes. So take a kid's paintbrush and cut it down so you get that flat end and it's a little firmer. And that is what I used at all my parties when I was doing brushes for people. Simple and easy. You'll also be told, oh, you have to use chalk paint or you have to use special paint. Folks, I'm revealing all my painting party secrets here. This is exactly the stuff that I use. Bare paint, house paint, folks. So I can get any color I want, okay? I can match my drapes if I want to. I can match my house color. I use house paint, so Bare is really good because it's 100% acrylic paint. And also, I've heard Sherwin-Williams, although I haven't tried it, but make sure you buy it in a flat finish. Let me see if that says matte or flat. It doesn't, medium base, it doesn't matter. You pick the color, you go up and you ask for the sample. This is like a couple of bucks, all right? And ask them for a flat finish. And they're gonna look at you like you're out of your mind, but just tell them it doesn't matter. Just buy the flat or matte finish. That's what you want, okay? So that's the kind of paint I use. You can use this kind of paint too. This from the Michaels. This is their brand, Craftsmart, Deco Art. Any of your favorite paints that you probably have floating around the house because you are a crafter. Right? Otherwise, why would you join this? So you put your stencil down. Put a little bit of paint on your plate. Okay, and you don't need much. So we're going to start with a darker one. Like, I'll be surprised if I use all of that. Okay, it's about the size of a quarter. Okay, and you grab yourself, let me see, some tape. Over here. And I like to tape my stencil down. Honestly, I don't do it all the time anymore, but I do it when I'm showing you guys because that's, you know, what I think is the best way for a beginner or someone that's not confident. But once you get confident with the small stencils, you're probably just going to hold them down with your fingers while you go with the other hand. All right, you can see I've already stenciled with this, all right? I'll get this guy out of the way. You can see it's already been used, and you can see it's curled up a little bit. Can you see that? That's okay, because when you push down, everything goes down where you need it. Now see those little bits like to stand up? That's okay. When you push down with your sponge, your single sponge, not your double, don't try and get fancy on me. Push down with your sponge. It's going to push those things down where they're supposed to be, okay? And they may pop back up again, okay? You can always hold them with your fingers too, with your other hand. But it's going to push those bits down where you want them. Just go carefully, okay? And it's going to be just fine, all right? So make sure you have them where you want them. Now, if you want, I can do this. I often will have people hold things down like that. If the little bits are bothering them when they're bouncing around. It makes me a little crazy too when they're jumping up and down. So you can do that. Craft Stick's another great little one to hold it in your spot, okay? Just like that. It's simple, okay? So don't make it harder than it has to be. All right, so now we have our paint. We have our sponge. Now I like to hold it further down. I'm giving you like the deep detailed lesson here. I like to hold it further down, okay? So we're going to dip into the paint. And now I want you to see this. You can see it is very shiny and very drippy, and that is way too much paint. So now take it and firmly stamp it. Just one time, really firmly. See how hard I'm pushing there? On your plate. Now I want you to have another look at this. See, now it looks dry and it looks a tiny bit wet on the edge there, so I'm just going to give it a little stamp there. Now it looks nice and dry. It's not dry. There's a ton of paint in there. You can see it didn't leave much paint on there. What it did do was drive the moisture up the sponge away from the color, and you're just trying to transfer all that color onto your stencil. So that is step one. Now, let me see. I'm going to turn this down so you can be in closer, okay? And I've never done this before, so good luck to us. All right. There we go. So we're just going to take our sponge and we're going to stamp up and down, tap, 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 nice and lightly. Every time we touch it, it's going to be a layer. And we want to do a couple of layers. Remember, we told you that. So I'm going to just tap it up and down, nice and lightly, and go for that ugly duckling coat. Remember that ugly duckling coat over there? Everything's backwards on the camera, okay? So there you go. You have the beginning of it. I'm going to bring this in close so you can see because it's very see-through to me right now. See how see-through that is? That's okay. That's the ugly duckling coat, and that is exactly what I want. You'll notice I'm not getting any bleeding at all because I'm hardly moving any, I'm just moving color and very lightly. I am not pushing really hard. I will show you that in a minute, okay? All right, so straight up and down, like so, okay? See how those little bits like to jump up and down? If you want to, hold them down, that's fine, okay? If that makes you happier. There, straight up and down. And then just keep tapping. Now, I want to show you. It's dry already, right? Because you're hardly using any paint, okay? So you can see that. And then you can look at your stencil and you can see, oh, I want a little bit more right there. So you can then just work on that one spot, just tap up and down, okay? And as you go along, more paint will come out of your sponge and you'll be tapping a little harder, but don't go crazy on that, okay? If you notice that it's starting to get hard to get color down, come back, pick up some more, do the same thing again, okay? Stamp, stamp, make sure it looks dry, does to me, and keep going, okay? Look how light I'm barely touching it, okay? Especially with a dark color. You're gonna find though with light colors, you're going to need to do more coats like this. That is why you get that ugly duckling look. And that's how you will not have any bleeding, okay? So let me keep going here. See how even though I'm not holding it down because I know I don't need to. You can hold this down if you want and work around it, but I don't bother anymore. I just make sure I go straight up and down. No rubbing, no pushing, no squishing, no trying to tap it in there really hard, okay? You just keep at it. If you want layers and more color, you just keep tapping, okay? That's how it happens. And see, we're getting a perfect stencil, a perfect imprint with no bleeding whatsoever. Same's gonna happen for you. And honestly, folks, if that doesn't work for you, don't be working on a 100-year-old barn board the first time out of the gate. But if that's not working for you, let me come back here. Just paint over it, do it again, okay? You got my permission, it's okay. So the first few stencils, give it a try on something you're not all that worried about so that you can get some practice in. Once you've got the technique down, it's yours for life. So it's worth, first you get good, then you get fast, okay? So then you'll be more like me. And baby, you can be knocking these out in no time at all, okay? And the beauty of these is, especially if you're doing them to sell, is that this one can be ripped off and moved to the next board as soon as you're done with it. You don't have to cut another stencil, you don't have to weed another stencil, you don't have to do any of that stuff. You just take this off, move it over, tape it down, keep going. So you can do some pretty fast signs once you get the hang of it, especially if you want to do multiples, okay? Just watch your edges. If you get close to the edge, that sponge can come off the edge, okay? So just be careful of that. And see, I haven't hardly used any of that paint. I probably have half of it left so far. But that, stamping it like that is the big trick, making sure it looks dry and super light touches. So you can see, let me bring this up close to you so you can see, I'm not lying to you. There is no bleeding on that. And there won't be, as long as I'm honest. Now, let's see what happens if you don't do that. If you do the opposite of that, okay? So you dip in the paint, like that, and you don't even stamp it, you forget, okay? It happens. This, then you hit it really hard. Now look at all that paint. That's gonna probably not ruin, but it's gonna be harder for your stencil to dry, okay? I want you to have a quick look at how it looks this way. This looks shiny. Can you see that? That looks shiny, the paint. When it starts to look shiny, you are using too much paint or too much pressure, all right? And look what happens. It squishes right through. Doesn't matter if it's a vinyl stencil or not. There's pores in that wood. It's going to go down into the pores, travel along the pores, underneath the stencil that's stuck so nicely to your board, and you're not gonna know it till the end. So that and this, okay? So you still have a bit of shine, but there's not much drip. Okay, and then you get crazy and you push really hard. If you hear that fingers against the board, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be a happy camper at the end. Now look at the back of my stencil. This is something you should never see on yours. The back of your stencil has paint on it, and your stencil has bled. Okay? Again, it doesn't matter if you're using vinyl or not, but I just want you to be able to see what's exactly causing the problem. Okay? So, too much paint and too much pressure. Those are the only two problems you can have with stenciling. The rest of the time, Bob's your uncle, as they say here in Canada. It just means you'll be great. Okay? So then you can use any of these reusable stencils you buy from anywhere. I'm just going to show you now. I'm going to cheat and use some Bear paint. Move this guy out of the way, and I'm going to use the brush. All right? So I have the one I cut down and the one I haven't cut down. And that's just a kid's art brush. Okay? I'm pretty sure, and it's pretty well loved, as you can tell. And I'm just going to go straight from the lid, and I'm not even going to hold anything down. Now, the thing with this is, you either need to keep it really dry. Okay? There should be no drips at all. You should see hardly any shine. And again, super light, straight up and down. Okay? Really, really dry. I could probably even go drier than that. So you need to have probably a cloth next to you that you can really wipe that out on. All right? Let me see. I'll put this where you can see what I'm doing, right? And then you just go straight up and down, tap, tap, tap. Same motion as the sponge. Okay. Hold it, lift it up, have a look. You can see, all right, that the stencil is starting to work out. I think I better take that down so you can all see what's going on here. All right, so I'm gonna, now this is still wet, okay? Because it's shiny, don't touch it, all right? You're gonna have to fix that up later. So try not to let that happen, and then you won't have to fix it up later, right? All right, so I have a cloth down here. I'm gonna use, that's my favorite way to use, I don't actually use brushes very often, but you can. Brushes are done in circles on plastic stencil sometimes, okay? But I just want to show you how I taught my beginners at every party I had before I switched to sponges, and this worked really well for them. So we just go straight up and down. It did sound like a bunch of woodpeckers when you got 25 ladies in a restaurant doing this, but it was fun. Also, we joked around that, you know, if you wore your Fitbit on this hand, you could get your 10,000 steps while drinking wine and painting with your friends. So see how it has a slightly different effect with the brush. You can get a little more faded, okay? And you can get a little more more stencil-like looking if that's the way you want to do it. So you can control the fade. But the sponge is quick and easy, and it does a good job. This too, you can also push too much paint underneath. I'm going to show you how. So you dip it in the paint. It's all wet looking and drippy. All right, we're going to go for it over here. Same thing, push too hard. You're like, oh great, it's happening in one coat. It's all good. I don't have to do a bunch of coats. I'm golden. All right. And you're really happy with it, then you lift it up. So don't do that, okay? Light touch, dry brush, dry sponge, light touch, that's all you need to know, right? Too much paint, too much pressure. Those are the only two problems you're going to have when you stencil. See the difference there? Same brush, all it was is a little more paint, a little more pressure. I'm bringing it up close so you can see. Can you see? Oh, hang on. The great cover up there. Can you see that? The difference? All right, so that's it for the lesson on how to stencil.